and welcome back to the channel. Food. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Like videos like this.
Explaining bizarre theories about classic cartoons in 1 minute. Actually, Popeye never ate spinach. He ate canned drugs. And the creators showed an addict as a healthy hero. Frame 1329. The can Popeye opens has a specific red and white striped label. It's not random design. It's the exact pattern of pharmaceutical cocaine packaging sold legally until 1922 in the United States. And this is where everything makes sense. From Popeye opening the can to punching Brutus, exactly 3 seconds of animation pass. Know how long inhaled cocaine takes to affect the nervous system? Exactly 3 seconds. But wait, it gets more disturbing. Notice Popeye's pupils after the can, completely dilated for 6 minutes and 40 seconds of the episode. That's the classic sign of stimulants in the body. And you never notice the most obvious thing. Popeye gets strong, then returns to normal randomly. That's not a temporary effect. It's euphoria and crash cycle, documented in 91% of stimulant dependency cases. Actually, in 87% of scenes with Olive, she appears holding the can before Popeye even asks, because she's not his girlfriend. She's a supplier, anticipating the addict's need. And now the part the creators disguised as family comedy. Brutus isn't the villain. He tries to destroy the cans in 94 of the 108 original episodes. Olive always protects the cans. Brutus is trying to cut off the supply. The entire series is about a desperate friend trying to save the addict while the dealer sabotages the intervention. Spinach was never healthy food. It was a 34-year-old sailor having overdoses that everyone applauded.
I told y'all, huh? What have I been telling y'all? And it's not like y'all didn't know. All right, y'all, we've been in a simulation, a matrix, a video game, an overlay, if you will, a fake world that is projecting on top of our world. And now with everything going downhill, everything breaking down, this is the simulation breaking down. Everything is okay in our lives, but the simulation itself is breaking down. And here is Kanye West coming to letting you guys know we are breaking out of this simulation. Check it out.
All unpaid actors in some giant script that we didn't write. Simulation, a 2-year-old jumps on a coffee table and someone says, "That's a coffee table, don't jump on that." So it went from being something that makes him feel like Superman, he's got his cape on, to something where he has to think about this person's like a family member he doesn't like anyway. He's 2 years old, he doesn't think about a coffee or a table. And he's starting to like calculate all these things. And by the time you're 40 years old, you've got a wall full of coffee tables calculating you into traffic, calculating you into your career choice.
Maybe people don't want the kids to get hurt jumping on the coffee table.
We are too protective. We always don't want someone to get hurt. Can you imagine me talking to my publicist before I said I'm going to go on TV again? We get too caught up in the past and what everyone's saying and what everyone's tweeting. And sometimes you just have to be fearless enough to break the simulation.
Come on, all y'all feel it. Come on, man. Y'all don't want to be here anymore. Y'all don't want to do no work. Y'all don't want to pay no bills. Y'all don't even care about money anymore. So the only thing that truly makes sense is there's the great reset is getting ready to happen. We are getting ready to break the simulation because the simulation is already breaking down. You guys see it. But let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Did y'all know this? Let's get it, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Now, where Monster was veiled, Liquid Death is just completely in the open because that's the time we're in. Liquid Death has a section on their website that says sell your soul. They have a country club, but in order to enter the country club, you have to sell your soul. Bill of sale for one eternal human soul. Join the 225,000 members who have legally sold their soul to a beverage company. Pay cash, sell my soul. And guess how much the country club membership costs? $125,000. I wonder what goes on when you buy that membership. So you think it's a joke until you end up in one of these satanic ritual parties. So you think it's a joke, you think it's parody and satire until you end up so deep in it that you're looking for help to get out. On their website it says, if you're wondering why you have strange nightmares, it's because one time we used a real witch to infuse real demons into the whole warehouse of our water. It was like a demon super spreader event for anyone who opened a can. Now these demons are everywhere and maybe even inside you. If you are somebody who doesn't see anything wrong with this, you might need to pray to the Lord on why you're not having any conviction. Because anyone with the Holy Spirit inside of them should be feeling some kind of conviction now. If not yet, this should do it. This is from their YouTube channel. We hired a real witch to trap real demons inside our cans of water. In the likely event that you become possessed from drinking demon-infused liquid death.
This is an educational thing. There's a lot of kids in here in this chat making music, right? You guys look at it as like, oh, how can I get signed with Atlantic? How can I get signed with Interscope? How can I get signed with Columbia? How can I get signed with Sony? How can I get signed with Warner? How can I get signed with Universal? These people will sign you. You have to play the puppet role, right? And this is why I'm so canceled, because they hate when I say this. You go, you sign your life away, right? You make most of your money with your advance, but once you blow that, right, whether you blow it on cars, lifestyle, clothes, everything, then you like, yo, my label's putting me no, I don't have no money, da-da-da-da. Manage your money right, because when these labels got you, they own everything. Then you're forced to do what NBA Youngboy did. You sell your catalog. When you sell your catalog, you sell your publisher share. Your publisher share is your writer's thing where they pay you quarterly. They pay you every 3 months. So you sell your whole catalog. You sell literally your rights to the music. And when you do that, yeah, you get a large percent of money, which people think like, yo, I'm gonna blow this. But that's it. You just
They give them a multiple.
And you gotta sell your soul. Adi knows. That's why you got the cooked face.
You won't believe what this guy just said. Remember Javier, the man who claims he's a time traveler, stuck in the year 2027? The guy who says he's completely alone? Everyone thought it was just another internet hoax. Until he started posting videos no one could explain. He walks inside the White House, empty. No guards, no tourists, no sound. Just long, echoing halls like the world already ended. He says he's the last person alive, the only survivor after something wiped everyone else out. And this week, he posted his creepiest video yet. For the first time, he revealed the exact date when it all ends. He said, November. That's when it happens. And here's the part that's freaking everyone out. Scientists actually confirmed a massive 2-4 kilometer wide object is heading straight toward Earth. Arrival? This November. So now everyone's asking, was Javier lying this whole time, or was he trying to warn us? Either way, if he's right, this might be our last November.
There's the big one. That's a big boy. Here comes another one, but did you all see? I gotta go back and that last clip. I gotta go back. A big boy.
Daylight savings time was created in times of war. Why do you think that is? It's a biological attack. It throws off the circadian rhythm, which is your natural rhythm that is in cohesiveness with nature itself. It was designed literally to throw you outside of nature's rhythm, outside of the sun and the moon, to depend on a mechanical, artificial object known as the clock, which is based off another artificial concept, which is known as time. Pay attention, during daylight savings time, anxiety attacks, heart attacks, seizures, and strokes are at an all-time high. Why do you think that is? Do you think that that's by mistake? No, that's by design.
What the f are you guys doing?
We're doing an inspection, ma'am. Can we come in? We're doing an inspection.
Why are you in my apartment?
We're doing an inspection, ma'am.
Do you have, wait, is that, oh my God.
We didn't think anyone was home.
That's even worse. I am naked in my house, in my own privacy, and you came and opened the door?
We understand that, we apologize.
I'm calling the police. Esther, do you have the phone? Let me call the police. They just came in my house, open.
That's such a power move, walking out naked.
It's technically an urban legend, if you want to call it that. But if you look up interviews with people that are homeless living in the Phoenix area, there are a number of interviews on YouTube about people, or where these people start talking about Midnight Productions, which is apparently a group of ex-law enforcement, politically connected individuals that are abducting homeless people and either raping them on camera, specifically homeless women and children, and then murdering them in snuff films. Now that sounds absolutely bizarre and out of the realm of possibility. But when I first started not doing the paranormal investigation for that video, but digging into it, the amount of people online that have testified to have either to have escaped midnight productions or have had someone, they were homeless in Phoenix and their friend was abducted by these people in this van. It's like there's thousands and thousands of stories on these forums from people that seem legit. Like they're not just bullshitting. Like these are people that are convinced that these individuals are real.
When I travel to India, guess what I deal with? I deal with a Hindu echelon of spirits. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and the list goes on, but those are the big ones. Well, when I go to Central South America, I'm rarely having Brahma, Vishnu, or Shiva manifest. We're having different spirits. If I go to Africa, we're having different spirits manifest. Go to Mexico, you're having Aztec demons manifest. If in my area in East Tennessee, we have Odin, Thor, and Loki manifesting all the time, almost every deliverance, because the people that settled our area.
Thor and Loki?
Yeah.
What do you mean? From Marvel?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll bring a whole light to Disney. I mean, if you want a demonology degree, watch Disney because they're in it and they're portraying the characteristics. I mean, when you do enough and identify enough deliverances, I can identify Loki like that as compared with Odin, just on how they manifest. Now, we teach our people, we don't put forth that information. We extract that information. I don't let our people just say, oh, you got this or you got that. No, that will get them off a team really quickly. We prove out what we feel God's showing us. So I don't let somebody just go, Lucifer, get up here, or Jezebel, get up here. No, demon, get up here. You identify yourself. If I think it's Lucifer, I'm going to prove that out. I'm not going to introduce that information. We're going to prove it out. So what we found, people moved to our area, settled our area from England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland. So guess what demons are in our area, in those bloodlines? The same demons our ancestors worshipped. If I go to Texas and start ministering there and have demons manifest in a room, let's say you got 200 people in a room, probably 50 of them will manifest Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent that's on the base of all the pyramids all over Mexico. Because that people group worshipped that God, little g God. If you go to, other nations, so we want to know what were the gods worshipped in that ancestry, because that'll be the demons that manifest in that people group.
J.D. Vance was also a descendant of Mary Surratt, one of the conspirators of the Lincoln assassination. So the lady that helped plan and helped put together that entire operation of Lincoln to get assassinated, which she was contracted by the Rothschilds. So he's related to someone that smoked Lincoln. And we know what Lincoln was trying to do with the Rothschild banking system, and that's why he got deleted. And J.D. Vance is also Peter Thiel's main guy. It's funny, they sent him to Yale. And you guys know what comes out of Yale, right? Skull and Bones. A lot of presidents have came from Skull and Bones. You got George Bush. You got his George Bush, the senior, the dad, then the younger one, and the person George Bush was running against in 2004. He was in Skull and Bones too. Also, it was Skull and Bones versus Skull and Bones. And Skull and Bones is a secret society within Yale. So if you get inside, you're guaranteed a CEO position. You're guaranteed a top spot. And only 15 people every year get put in. George Bush's dad went and dug up one of the greatest warriors of all time, an Indian warrior. Went to his gravestone overnight, had fake bones put back inside. There was even a lawsuit about it. And what they do is they drink out the skull of that head. And that was one of the greatest.
Ando grabando acá atrás del muro de la Antártida. Está bien frío, como pueden ver, se mira mi aliento. Allá atrás hay una ciudad enorme llena de edificios futuristas. Hay robots revisando a la gente que pasa, drones por todos lados y anuncios digitales en cada esquina. Miren esos soldados, traen trajes tipo...
And I'm putting my life in danger by doing it. I don't feel good about this. I feel guilty as hell. This is why I'm sharing it. But there's a 3-letter agency. The letters are I, A, and C. I'm sure you can do the math on that. And I'm sure you've heard the term G-stalked or getting followed. I get paid $10,000 a month by that organization to follow people. All I have to do is follow one person a day, make sure they see me, take a video, send it in. I have a tracking app on my phone. I can see at least 100 people a day, and I get to pick who I follow. All I have to do is make sure they see me and send in the video. That's it. Just doing some creepy shit. Share this, like this, send it to your homies. If you called someone crazy for getting G-stocked, sorry, dude, it's real.
Bro, I'm tripping right now because, like, I was just trying to trim some of the fat off my chicken, and I started realizing, don't this look like a human foot, or am I tripping right now, bro?
You ain't tripping. That's Bigfoot.
Which one? Squiggly ones. Yeah, the squiggly ones. Look at that. What is that?
That's funny.
Oh man, what is that? They're going crazy. They're all coming out. There's tons of them. Bro, they're all coming out at night.
They're going towards the light right now.
No, that's like 1 inch.
Look, they're going towards the light.
Yeah, they're all like 1 inch big. They're all coming towards the light.
That's funny.
Y'all, what if the government shutdown isn't about politics or money? Think about it. Flights is grounded, airspace is about to be closed, and communication lines is going dark. Meanwhile, you got scientists talking about three-eyed atlas may not be a comet, and it's doing things that comets don't usually do. Said in reverse orbit, something in the back turned blue, it's headed our way, and you've been hearing chatters all year talking about aliens. What if this shutdown is really a lock-in, so we don't get to see what's going on from above us? If we can't fly, we can't see shit. What if they know something's up there? What if they know something is coming, so they're trying to use this government shutdown to keep us shut down?
Three-Eye Atlas sent a message to Earth yesterday, and it's changing everything and putting the world's top sign list into a tizzy as to what it means. And these are videographer images behind me of it passing through our solar system. But the top sign list in Antarctica, that base there, was like, we should listen up at it because like our ozone's thinner here, there's not light pollution, and they did pick up on a frequency, and it was like a binary formulaic Morse-esque code, and they captured it very clearly. They put in an advanced AI algorithm, ChatGTP, and it translated what the most likely interpretation of it is. And it says, we sky cousins, we come peace, friends, we pass by to observe Earth. And then it says, we put man on Earth millions of years ago, we return to elevate man. And then they ended the message with, hang tight, friends, hang tight. This is huge. There was another part of the message after they said hang tight that we haven't been able to interpret. We're working on it right now. We're tweaking the AI algorithm to see if we could figure it out. But follow along, and as soon as we're able to crack that code of what the last part of the message is, I'll share it out. But let me know what you think that earlier message is.
Oh my God, bro.
And I think I got tacos at home.
Now, it's no secret that Jared Leto's a little bit of a weirdo, but here's a lot of pictures from his actual real-life cult camp. It's basically a cult that he has on an island. So Jared Leto owns his own private island, and he actually runs an entire cult in this thing. And as you can see from the pictures, it's primarily a lot of impressionable women who are probably obsessed with him and his status in Hollywood. Do you really think that Jared Leto's teaching any of these people something that they really need to know in life? Or do you think that maybe he just sees an opportunity with many implications? I guess you have to be a little bonkers if you want to spend any time with this guy, with the guy who was crappy Suicide Squad, Jared Leto Joker. You have to be a little insane if you want to spend time with this guy on a private island, so maybe it's fitting. These people actually pay money to be there and to be with him. This is insane.
When you read the book, The Last President by Ingersoll Lockwood, the same author who wrote the publication Barron Trump's Adventure. Now, when you get into the book, Last President, it's subjected to the Progressive Era and the Gilded Age during the times of the 1800s and the 1900s. But it's not only subjected to that timeline, because the book is a multi-dimensional publication that is actually talking about the timeline that we're living in right now, in between the years of 2025 and 2030. So there's a reason why Donald Trump, he said, so it begins. So this is the beginning points of the prophecy of the last president. Now, this is the first chapter of the book, The Last President, the first page. So when you break it down numerical codexes, you have to do a bait and switch with the numbers. So when you see the date, November 3rd of 1896, exchange it with November 3rd of 2025. So it says in the first paragraph, that was a terrible night for the great city of New York. But what happened during that time period, you know, in 2025, that's when Zohran Madani was elected. See, when it comes to numbers, numbers is the infinite information portal that's connected to the golden ratio that collapses time. There's a reason why people say that Barron Trump, Donald Trump's son, is a time traveler, because all this is based on chaos and order, which is the pillars of severity and mercy. Now, the book, The Last President, is based on destabilization and civil unrest. Now, watch this video of what Zohran Madani says.
So, Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
So that video shows you the climate of the political infrastructure, because the Democrats are operating outside of constitutional fold of government, because you're having a war within the government. The Democrats versus the Republicans, esoterically meaning Luciferians versus the deep state shadow government, which is why you see in all these industries basically going down, all the corporations, all the trafficking, right? And this is going to beget more chaos. All I'm going to say is that this game that we call life is about to get harder, because we're going through the great purification period, which is also a form of liberation. So the game is about to speed up. We about to go from all-star mode to Hall of Fame mode, because we in end game.
And I'm going to write the story soon. I know your PR people are asking, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, he used to be a regulator.
For crypto?
In life, a regulator.
What's that?
You don't know what regulators up your ass means? Yeah, I ain't been in business long enough.
She's his new handler.
Dinner!
This is just lithium, H2O, of course, and thousands of minerals.
It smells like rotten.
You gotta get used to the taste, because it makes you sick. And I've been getting sick from this. I feel like I'm 15 years old. I feel young, vibrant. Virility
is it 15 years old
back.
Because you might throw up? Like
No,
when you're
that could
15
be.
and you drink alcohol?
No. I just feel alive. I mean, everything's reversing, you know, on my organs and everything. You could tell. I mean, you could just see it.
And she's cheating again.
Hello out there. What if you found out that you attended school in order to be miseducated, and that your graduation was a celebration of 12 years of not knowing? Well, for instance, you were taught that Rome was always located in Western Europe. But we're going to show you that this place was originally in South Africa, Cape Town. And when you're presented with images like this, especially if you're from Western Europe, and you see these structures, you have to say to yourself, wow, I can't believe those Romans built these magnificent structures in my backyard. But there is a grand deception going on, one that your teacher doesn't even know about, and we're going to point this thing out today. Pay attention to this field in front of these ruined structures. Looks like a long football field of some sort. We're going to locate the same area in South Africa. And why are we doing this? Because this is supposed to be the area of the Palatine Hill or the Capitoline Hill. Some people say Capitol Hill. But we're going to locate this place in South Africa. We're going to go to the original Capitol Hill Capitoline Hill, whatever you want to call it, Temple of Jupiter. We're going to locate the original location in Cape Town, South Africa, which, believe it or not, is the original seat of the ancient Roman Empire. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Temple of Jupiter, located in South Africa, Cape Town. They turned it into a university. Notice a football field looking structure in front of this. This is the original seat of the Palatine Hill or the Capitoline Hill area. And these structures are the ancient structures. Now you have the right to remain ignorant, or you could be of the 1% who know about what is going on with the compass. And that is, the south is at the right of the east, and your map is upside down. And the link to know the truth is right in the description. I'm going to leave it at that. God bless you. Have a great night or day.
Oh. So you're telling me, after all these years, I've been sleeping wrong like this whole time? And that instead of my head facing the north, it's supposed to be facing the south? You motherfuckers. So you're telling me we can literally take back our energy by how we sleep? So apparently, this is how your bed's supposed to face in your room, completely avoiding the headrest facing north. Why is nobody talking about this? This is very important. And if I do decide to sleep to the north, I'm causing sleep disturbances, lower energy, and even potential sickness.
They're saying this. I'm not saying this. They're saying this. This predator is queer and we should say it. So apparently the predator is queer. So this is 2025. This is the Predator movie we're getting. And again, I just want to remind you guys, back when this was a proper country, this was the Predator and this was Arnold, right? Now they're saying that in this new Predator movie, you get to know the Predators. They're, apparently there's some emotional thing there, something, right? You get to understand the Predators. And here's the thing, guys. And Chad, you will agree with this because you guys are intelligent individuals, right? We don't need to learn a lesson with everything, Chad. Right? I know you guys understand this, but we really don't. Sometimes we just want to see a strong, badass dude go toe-to-toe with a killing machine. Why? I don't know. Who knows why? Till this day, I have no idea why Arnold was in that jungle. And I don't think we care, Chad. I don't think we do.
Locks in a ponytail. Our past? You guys tell me.
Something weird is going on. Why is everybody passing out these last 2 months? We'll get to RFK in 1 second. We'll also get into what Trump said before the Ozempic executive fell down, randomly collapsed out of nowhere. So real quick, let's get into some honorable mentions. This right here was Elizabeth Land randomly collapsing on stage. Also from September, we had Loli Young passing out on stage. And then we have the Ozempic executive who just collapsed. But watch RFK. This is so weird. He looks at him, but watch the way he leaves. He just ducks right out. Is that not odd to you? Like that's extremely, extremely weird. Look at his demeanor. It's like he was sensing that something very wrong was happening in that room. Now this is where it gets really weird. He was talking about those things specifically, and he turned to RFK and said, hey, is there anything bad about these that we should know? Jokingly. Also listen to what he said at the very end.
Drastic discounts and really effective drugs. And so far, I've never heard anything bad about them. I only hear good about them. But is there anything bad about them, Bobby? I haven't heard anything bad. Someday, maybe it'll come out.
If you search all the collapses in the last month or two, you'll get hundreds. What is actually going on right now?
is literally the most empty I've ever seen it in my life. The Atlanta airport is completely empty. All right, it is 8:55 a.m. on November 6th. I'm at Jackson Hartsfield Atlanta airport. I have literally never, ever seen it this slow, so I think that the media might be exaggerating the travel situation. I don't know, but this, I'm going to go to TSA right now. I'll show you that, but this is general security. I don't get it. All right, I went into the security line at 8:57. There were 3 people in front of me. It is now 9:04 a.m. E-Gates, Atlanta Airport, just after 9 a.m., November 6th. It looks pretty empty.
Don't touch my kids.
The NFL needs to conduct a full-on investigation immediately because it appears the Patriots have done it again. We all know who former Patriots QB Tom Brady is and how he was the GOAT. But what you don't know is he's also an investor in a genetic engineering company which specializes in cloning. Now, why is this important? Well, recently Brady used this company to clone his late dog to give him a new dog just like it. Okay, that's not a big deal, right? Well, it appears the Patriots may have also been using this company. And that's really where their new star QB, Drake May, came from. Because take a look at this photo. This is Drake May now, and this is Tom Brady when he was first drafted. Now tell me bro isn't his clone with just a 2025 haircut. But there's more. This past week, Drake May, for the 8th consecutive game, threw for over 200 yards and had a 100-plus QB rating. That is the 3rd longest streak of all time. And who's in 2nd place right ahead of him? You guessed it, Tom Brady. But wait, because it gets even crazier. Now take a look at both of their stats in their first 18 career regular season games. They literally almost had the exact same statistics. So now knowing all that, take a look at this photo again and tell me I'm wrong.
Scarcity is a propaganda campaign. Scarcity doesn't exist. It is an illusion. Scarcity is a psyop to make you believe that there isn't enough of something, but in reality there is a surplus of absolutely everything you could ever need. Food scarcity is an illusion. The world produces more food than we could ever eat. 1.3 billion tons of food is wasted every year. In the US, 30 to 40% of all food is thrown away. So the world's hunger is not caused by lack, it's caused by greed. Water scarcity is an illusion. The planet renews 110 trillion gallons of water per day through evaporation, rainfall, springs, glacier melt, etc. There's a lack of infrastructure, not a lack of water. You can't waste energy. Energy scarcity is an illusion. The sun alone gives us 8,500 times more energy than we can use. But again, it's not a priority and there's a lot of greed involved. So energy scarcity is a lie, water scarcity is a lie, food scarcity is a lie. Land scarcity is a lie. How much percentage of the world do you think would be covered by humans living currently? 5%. 95% of the world is still available to live on. Land scarcity is a lie. Housing scarcity is a lie. The United States has 33 million empty homes and 600,000 homeless people. That means each homeless person could have 55 houses. Nobody cares. It's all about greed. Medical scarcity is a lie. Each medicine probably costs pennies to make and they just sell it for ridiculous prices. Are you noticing a theme of greed here? Not scarcity. Scarcity is a propaganda campaign to make you believe that something can be scarce. Scarcity doesn't exist on Earth. God doesn't create scarcity. God only creates abundance. Everything is abundant. Energy, land, water, housing, medication, and wealth scarcity is alive. The global economy creates $100 trillion per year. Easily able for everybody to be abundant. But again, greed is at the forefront. Scarcity is part of the control system. If you think something's scarce, then you're willing to fight over it. If you knew that everything was truly abundant, then you would turn on those who are making it not abundant. Scarcity is not natural. Scarcity is engineered. It is a falsity. It is a lie. Abundance is all there is and all there ever will be. Blessings.
Yet another ritual was done in the NFL because Marshawn Nealon is unalived at the age of 24. And again, every single time they do this stuff in the National Fixed League. Don't believe me? The movie Him literally told you what these people do. It is all about making sacrifices. And what are the odds that he is unalived at the age of 24 3 days after he scored a touchdown. Oh yeah, he scored a touchdown, and 3 days later, unalived. And it was against the Cardinals at that. And of course, the Cardinals' main colors are red. What is red usually associated with? And he is unalived 24 days after Jerry Jones's 83rd birthday. And look at this right here. Football, cowboy, and murder all add up to 83. So you tell me what is going on. Because from the looks of it, this was yet another ritual.
He probably wasn't supposed to score either. The betting industry is hardcore.
And then what do you know? 1956, here comes AI. The birth of artificial intelligence, 1956. A Dartmouth conference where we see that Warren McCulloch and Walter Pitts, they already published papers 13 years prior describing neural networks using binary logic, where their work was resembling something already known, something they found, not something they just imagined. 1943, these two published a groundbreaking paper titled A Logical Calculus of the Ideas Immanent in the Nervous Activity. This paper predicted the structure of artificial neural networks. This is decades before computing could even handle them. The paper used binary logic gates, or zeros and ones, threshold activation, networked structures. We're all told that there was no technology available to something they had access to. There was nothing to base this information off of. Yet they just imagined it out of thin air, all before the first digital computers were even working. I don't believe it came from their imagination at all. I believe it came from memory, from something that was found. You have to ask, how did two guys in 1943 just randomly lay out perfectly structured, precise layered nodes, the tree of life, interconnected, energetic functions, a system modular with interconnected forces like logic gates or computational nodes? This is crucial for AI and supercomputers. Binary logic or dualism and hermetic thought structures that run like flowcharts. It's exactly how an AI can continue to learn, continue to make new decisions. This is not something that two guys just came up with, especially when neither of these guys were even computer scientists. 1943, McCulloch and Pitts write this paper explaining AI to a T without having any computer science background at all, where their paper comes 13 years before neural networks became usable in computing. They described nonlinear, recursive systems using symbolic logic, using old world systems. So if they didn't make it up out of thin air, where did these two get the old world technology from? Pitts and McCulloch worked directly under Norbert Wiener at MIT, the founder of cybernetics and heavily involved in top secret wartime projects with deep connections to DARPA's forerunner, Office of Scientific Research and Development, the Manhattan Project Circle, and early RAND Corporation contacts. Having no computers, not one, zero, to even test this idea, McCulloch and Pitts described how binary logic and threshold activation could mimic brain function. And then just 13 years later, we are all given the name artificial intelligence. And 2 years after that, 1958, Mitri was founded as a spin-off of MIT's Lincoln Laboratory to manage the SAGE air defense system, a massive real-time computing network using automated decision-making. In just 2 years, from creating the name artificial intelligence, they just had this real-time computing network that used radar data, logic gates, and automated decision-making, just all ready to go. Are you sure? Or was this the first time that AI was finally reintroduced to the world? The timeline of it all is just way too fast and all over the place, creating the theory with no computers to even test it on. And they didn't even have any background in this field. Yet Mitri shows up and they have this air defense system, just making automated decisions. Just 2 years after the name AI was introduced to the world. Let's keep going. I believe, in my opinion, that AI was not invented. It was resurrected. And the timeline proves this, where in 1943 the paper was written explaining how AI functions. 1956, the Dartmouth Conference happened, coining the term artificial intelligence. 2 years later, 1958, Mitri was launched, using AI in real-time military systems, where the weirdest part comes next. 22 years later, Japan, AI is finally patented. 40 years after McCulloch and Pitts' paper, when we already know that AI was being used in the US government way before this. We just showed this. We now understand that old world technology is being used before it's patented in public knowledge. I believe that patents are admission points to the public eye. SAGE, operational in the 1950s, the AI system that the US government was running, well before it was ever patented, and also before the term artificial intelligence was coined in 1956. This SAGE system took in real-time radar data from over 100 radar stations across North America, analyzed it with massive central computers, made automated decisions about whether a target was friendly or hostile, and gave suggested responses. It thought for itself on whether they should send a missile, a jet, or scramble defense. It had touch screens, like iPads, for interaction. Well, we are now proving yet another technology was given back to us. And E.A. Johnson didn't invent it at all in 1965. We are showing that they have all of this, and they choose who is going to publicly give it back to us. It is incredible. Factual evidence that these supposed creators of technology, they didn't create anything at all. They were shown the old world technology, and then they were chosen to be the official narrative's supposed guy, pinned as the creator. It is a systematic lie, and we have just exposed this, where SAGE, also networked across multiple regions, connected by long-range telephone data lines, or the internet. This is the 1950s, where we are all told that the internet was invented in 1969, where the first message was supposedly sent between UCLA and Stanford on October 29th, 1969. This is a bunch of lies that are now exposed. SAGE had internet, they had AI, they had iPads, they had all of it, and I'm sure so much more. And having all of it before the stupid stories that were told. All of it was found, and it is placed back into the world through lies, fake creators, and fake timelines, and lies about the discoveries, telling us that they never found anything at these sites in the early 1920s, when it couldn't be further from the truth. Let's stick the dagger in this narrative. The SAGE system, which was built by Mitri, was using MIT's technology, we are told. And yet we don't officially know how long AI and all of this has been known about. It could be much earlier than this, but this officially predates the official narrative without a doubt. We are told that it was the most advanced computing system network of its time, an AI decision-making system, touchscreen-based interaction, interactive display screens controlled by a light gun, internet, using this technology nearly 2 decades before the public was introduced to anything similar, where the timeline is clear and undeniable in my opinion. This is gonna change the world forever, and you're never gonna listen to those stupid stories again. 1951 to 1958, Rand, Mitri, and SAGE were all operational, using all of the technologies that we just mentioned, where the official narrative tells us internet doesn't exist. A lie. 1958, Mitri was founded. SAGE Systems Online. With screen interaction, the official narrative says nothing about this. 1960s, Rand, Mitri, and OSRD, or the Office of Scientific Research and Development. Really quick, the OSRD was Rand. It was Mitri. It was the NSA, it was all of it. And then after the World War II ended, OSRD branched off into all these divisions, all involved in secure network development, the internet. But the official narrative tells the public that most of the 1960s were the pre-internet era, with 1969 being the official launch of it. Yet another lie. And then in the 1980s, we all finally see the first patent for AI, coming from Japan, when at this point they were already using AI for decades. And I believe they have been using it a lot longer than 1943. When Warren McCulloch and Walter Pitts finally published their paper in 1943, a logical calculus of the ideas immanent in nervous activity, the first public mathematical model of a neural network, predicting core AI architecture, all before the first digital computer even existed in a usable form. Again, we just showed that they lie. We just showed that they have all of this technology. We know that these two didn't just pull this technology out of a hat and write a perfect paper on it. That's illogical. We know that they had this technology because when they were using it militarily, there were never any flaws. It worked perfectly. And we know that that's not how things work. We know that there's trial and error. And if you're truly developing something, things naturally progress. There are going to be flaws and then corrections. When Sage was using this technology in the 1950s, this was done. There was no trial and error after years and years of having it, meaning that they had this technology prior to that 1943 paper, where Sage, according to public records, costed the government approximately $10 billion in the 1950s, which is over $100 billion today, making it one of the most expensive defense systems ever built. Sage wasn't just for war. I believe without a doubt that it was a classified AI-based military system project that nobody even knew existed until right now. An old world technology that was brought back into the world, found, rediscovered, and once again, we have to ask, did it ever even leave in the first place? Or has it always been here? And these are just branches of its capability, a computer system that is able to think, adjust, and make decisions in a second or less, constantly molding to improve and think for itself. What is AI? Where did it really come from, and how long has it really been here? Something that we know has been operational since the 1950s, before the public even knew about it. And then we're lied to about the official release date, meaning we don't understand the true timeline of it, the progression of it. But what we do know now is that AI was never created when we were told that it was. And it was here all along, for so many more years than what we were told, where Sage wasn't the only group using the AI in the 1950s. RAND was invested in predictive modeling, logic networks, and game theory. MIT's Lincoln Lab, or Mitri, was using neural network, lifelike simulations. The CIA, NSA, and OSRD were all involved in top secret computing programs that have never been declassified. We know all about these groups and what they like to do, including the Bell Labs, where in the 1950s, they were experimenting with speech recognition, pattern detection, and self-adaptive systems, machine learning. And the one thing that all of these groups have in common, if you're living in the USA, they are all 100% funded by you. 100% funded by the public. They found the technology, they lied about it, and we all wrote the checks, because every single one of these groups are not only government funded, but also born out of war, secrecy, and post-World War II black operations. And if we all think that AI is the best thing they got, I believe we should all reconsider our thought process right now.
That's a wrap for today, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me, smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.